This is going to be quick because Love and Hip Hop New York is one of my least watched videos. When I first started, it used to be like one of my most watched videos, but times have changed, audiences have changed, and frankly, this season is very mature. It's very mature for a franchise that was so immature. Eventually, people will get used to it, but yeah, I think that's as nice I can say. Because there's a lot of positive things. Let's just start with Yandy. Yandy goes and she has this girl that was in her, girls program, and she actually invited, I forgot what her name is. I think it starts with a Q if I'm not mistaken. Invites her to her home because the girl was going to run away. She was going to run away, and Yandy said, no, come stay with me instead of doing that. The problem is, and Yandy had Jonathan over, but before she had Jonathan over, she was talking to Mano's girlfriend. I'm sorry, I forgot her name. Is it Monique? I don't remember. And someone else, and just saying how it's so sad because this girl's gone through so much, and she just wants a place to stay, some stability and peace of mind. That's what she wants. Unfortunately, Jonathan had to go and, hit Yandy with some reality. Hey, you're harboring a runaway. The state can come in and say that you kidnapped her. The state can say that you're harboring a minor illegally, which you are, not against her will, but it's not sanctioned by the courts. And so because it's not sanctioned by the courts, they can come and take your own children. I'm thinking, Yandy, I respect what you're doing, but no one like at least double checked to figure out, okay, what are we doing? And I think that's why she made sure to mention it on camera. Like, hey, this is what's going on. This is what she told me. This is what I'm saying as well. So I'd not go and try and take her and do any weird whoop-de-whoop and wop-de-wop. That's not what's going on here. That's not what the situation is here. Because her kids love that girl. And she seems so happy. To be. And so when Yandy told her that right now, I have to send you back to foster care because the state can come in and take my children because I didn't go through the proper procedures to make sure that you could stay at my house. And her lawyer or her caseworker was on vacation. All this stuff. She contacted everyone she was supposed to contact, and I'm sure she has documents and proof, but still, it's still not legal. And I felt bad for her because she was crying. Yandy was crying. The young girl was crying because she said it's like she does everything she's supposed to do. She does well in school. She doesn't act up. She's like, she just wants to be happy. She wants to be someone's sister, someone's brother who, is so happy to see her when she comes home or goes and sees them and hangs out with them and plays with them. And she wants to be in a household where, everyone's just happy and doing what they're supposed to do. And she just wants the bare minimum. She just wants love and affection. And I felt so bad. And I said, I had to fast forward because this is too heavy for me. This is too heavy for me on this show. Going from that to, who do we want to talk about next? There was no Mariah Lynn this episode. Oh, okay, we can talk about Sydney Starr. Sydney Starr went and met up with Jacquay and Nia Lee. Nia wanted to show Sydney, hey, we need to alter your image. And Sydney was saying that it makes her angry and messes with her confidence when someone says that, there's an issue with her image because she's a transgender girl. And there's always been an issue about her image, and there will always be an issue regarding her image. So someone verbalizing that, it's just too much for her. So that's why she was very on guard and offended. And frankly, Nia Lee looks good, but let's be clear, I'm thinking the fashion portion, that's subjective. That's subjective. But Jaquay comes in because, hey, let's hear, you know what, let's do part 2. Let's hear your rap. Because that's the other thing. Sydney thought that she was there to rap. She didn't realize we're doing an image rehab. But she raps after she was, thrown off, and it wasn't good. It still wasn't good. It sounds like she barely changed the bars. Her delivery wasn't any better. And they both said, is this a joke? And the thing is, you're not going to make it if you can't accept criticism. And if you can't accept criticism, that's the main thing. If you can't accept criticism, this will not work. In this industry, it's a situation where you have to think about the fact that there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people who are trying to make it and who are way more talented. And they still don't have the opportunities that you're getting. And you can't come in with this. So then she talks to her friend, and her friend said, okay, well, let me hear it. And he heard her rap. He said, do you want me to be honest? And she said, I don't need negativity. I understand where you're coming from. I just don't need negativity because there's just so much going on that people are telling me about my image or saying that I need to go and rap or act a certain way when it's difficult just being her. I get it, but I'm like, this is tiring. But if it's this tiring, ow, dang it, oh my gosh, that ripped right through my thumb. Oh my gosh, it ripped right through the skin. Dang it. If it's that tiring for, oh my gosh, for me, imagine her. Now you have, oh my gosh, dang it. Now you have Safari. Ow, that hurt. Safari, his whole thing is he has to decide what he's going to do career-wise, because let's be clear, the music stuff isn't working out too well. The music stuff is not going as planned, and because of his sex, well, that's not what it was. The picture or video or whatever, who cares? Because of his unit being leaked, he has a new opportunity with Dr. I don't know, it's a sex toy line, and he is talking to people about it. He's talking to Rich, and Rich is just like, dude, that's a distraction. You want to be taken seriously with music. But I'm thinking, we all know music isn't paying as far as Safari's concerned. Music isn't paying his bills. Safari being a personality is what's paying his bills. And Safari knows that. So then he also talks to Remy and Papoose. And the both of them let him know that they're not too gung-ho about it, because if you want to do music and be taken seriously with that, you can't go and do these side things. And that was what Papoose was saying. Remy said, a check is a check. I'm not mad at a check. Apparently it's supposed to be 7 figures or in revenue, or I don't know. No. But what matters most is Safari wants love, and he wants a family. He wants a relationship. He has to realize that maybe the woman that he really wants and should be with may not want to be with someone who goes and has a sex toy line. I said, that's fair enough. But I mean, if she knows you're Safari, then there's just certain things that have to go along with that. That's how that really works. So when we have, but Remy was pissed because she asked Safari an important question. She asked him, well, what are the details with the contract? Safari said, I don't know. I just kind of signed it first, and then we'll figure it out later. I said, are you kidding me? Who does that? Safari's been in the industry too long to be doing these amateur things. Safari really told us that he signed a general contract, and he doesn't know the details. I almost wanted to click off. So then he goes down to the office of that company of we're just going to call it Doctor, whatever. And he meets with the owner. He meets with the owner's business partners. And they're talking about how the process of how, okay, you know, this is how the mold is created. This is how much in revenue these type of products generate. And also this is how much, these are different things we want to do because we want to use a harness. And I said, a harness? So then Safari went and did a infomercial right in front of our eyes. I'm thinking, it's like you put on the harness, you strap in, and then you place this thing right there, and you go to town. I'm thinking, oh, okay, so is this your way of saying yes? Because I know the money threw him off. Like, oh, maybe I did make the right choice. But he has to think about it. I don't know. We didn't actually hear about it if he did or not. Well, I'm not going to pretend like I actually cared. So that's his storyline. Who else? Oh, okay. Let's talk about State of the Culture. Joe Budden's Revolt show, State of the Culture. I really do enjoy it. Can't wait for season 2. Now, it's on YouTube and it's also on Revolt, but it had a season finale like a couple of weeks ago. The important thing here is that Joe, again, is talking to Remy because he needs Remy's help. He needs to know if Remy will willingly talk to Sin. Remy said sure. So Remy goes, talks to Sin, and Sin acknowledges that, yes, she does has postpartum, but she's doing all these other things to, you know, get her out of that funk. Her main issue is that Joe, he's not really hearing her and hearing her main issues, and part of it is they need to carve out time for each other. So then Remy was saying the stuff that she does and how she will go and just pick a day, stick to it, and not have the kids, not have anyone, just focus on them. And Remy Sin liked that idea, so Sin wanted to talk to Joe about implementing something like that for them. The other big thing is Sin does not want to hire a babysitter. She does not trust anyone around her kid like that. Refuses. And there's a lot of people with very good reason who don't play that. Period. So I understand that, especially with the next episode where it looks like Sin acknowledges that I think Sin was probably like molested or, you know, something horrible like that, just to make it even worse. And because she is going to go to a therapist, because that was something that she never thought about. She's like, why would I do that? Like a lot of people. So when she talks to Joe, it doesn't go well, because Joe thought that Sin was more so going to focus on herself, which would allow for their relationship to overall get better afterwards. Joe feels like, why is she partially focusing on herself but not really doing the work? She's just kind of distracting herself, and he feels like the relationship stuff is more so a distraction than anything else. And that's why he said, if us being together is the issue, then I don't want to go and make that a problem for you. But because this is a 2-stage thing, Joe did acknowledge on his podcast that he understands where Sin's coming from now, because I guess maybe he was there in the therapy session, or maybe they talked about the therapy session, so he had a better understanding of what Sin really meant. But from his point of view, he really thought that Sin was more so using her her issues with the relationship as the main reason why she's having these problems, instead of him realizing it can be everything, like Sin was saying. It can be. What else happened? Who else showed up on the screen and has something to say? I think that's it. I think that's it. And whoever else was on the cast that had something going on, I do apologize because I don't remember. That's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week.